Donald Trump has been forcefully removed from the ballot in Colorado, a state formerly known for things besides marijuana. And I've got 5 talking points on this. I think that there are reasons for everyone listening to this and everyone, frankly, who's not listening to this to be absolutely terrified by this. But here's where I want to start this. Here's where I want to begin this conversation. I don't consider myself a Republican. I don't particularly consider myself a political kind of guy. Those are things I wish I didn't have to worry about. Lately, politics are wheedling so far into everyday life because, we can start with the price of bread, right? And we'll get there. We'll get there here. But I don't care if you support Trump. I don't care if you are true blue, vote blue, no matter who. I don't care if you're a Bernie bro. This is terrifying. I do not consider myself a Republican. I consider myself basically, and this is going to be, internet cliche of the day, classic liberal. I believe that you get to do you no matter who you are, so long as who you are doesn't infringe on anyone else's constitutional rights. That's what I believe. That's what I think the founding fathers had in mind. That's what I think this is all for. That is why I believe the American experiment has been so substantially successful. Because we get to say whatever we want. We get to be whoever we are. We just can't stop others from doing the same. This decision by the Colorado Supreme Court stops that. This is unprecedented and very, very far out of the Overton window. What is the Overton window? The Overton window is what is generally accepted in politics, what is generally accepted in society, that sort of thing. This is so far out of that there is clearly no reason to attempt a move like this and risk the blowback if you believe there is any chance at all whatsoever that you can win. If you think this, if you think you have a 1% chance of winning, you don't try this, because the blowback can be so substantial that it becomes a plague on both your houses. That means a plague on the Republican House, a plague on the Democrat House. This can bring the entire thing down. This type of blowback, this type of absolute buffoonery can be something so incredibly substantial as to change the Overton window into whatever we don't see coming. That's the danger. Not what we see coming, what we don't see coming. What the polite do not even imagine. Terrifying because of that. So, this should be terrifying because what it means is that there is, and many times during this video, I am prone to using terminology like us and them. When I say them, I do not mean Democrats. When I say them, I do not mean leftists. When I say them, I mean, in this case, the establishment. What is the establishment? The people who have power. This move means they will stop at nothing because there is no reason to attempt something so ham-fisted as this, unless you know the power is being wrangled from you and you will stop at nothing to hold on to it. Now, point number 2. You might be saying to yourself, but what does this even mean? How could this be a substantial point? What could this possibly matter as to the election in 2024? Who cares? Colorado went to Biden by 14 points in 2020. There was no way Trump was going to win this state anyhow. A, things are going so bad, I beg to differ. B, this is a trial balloon. They are going to float this up, and if it goes the way they want, well, we could probably get this done in California, don't you think? What about the cesspool of New York? Probably so. Well, maybe Georgia. Could we get Georgia? That's a big swing state. If we got it passed through in all these other places, is there a chance that Georgia might fall as well? There is. There is. What is that chance? I'm not sure we're allowed to talk about it. Which brings me to the number 3 point. This Biden regime, and look, I don't care that he's a Democrat. If this were a Republican president, I'd be saying the same thing. If this were a Whig president, I'd be saying the same thing. I don't care about that. This administration is such a catastrophic failure. Look, at the beginning of the whole Trump thing, I was a never Trumper. I bought into all of that. I bought into all of the arguments. I was sold hook, line, and sinker. I have an English literature degree. By God, what else is that good for? When he became president and things were going well, the first thought for me was, wow, the United States, we've really nerfed it. We've done this thing so well, nothing can bring us down. We have nerfed the world. We won. We won. We're in the post game, baby. The rest of time will be the post game celebration. Just a couple years into Biden, that was clearly and evidently not true. Biden screwed up so many things so fast. So many things so fast. And the number one thing that is sinking this administration is inflation. Now, here's one of the big reasons why I think this is true. They don't understand it. Here's what I mean by that. Someone whose son spent $800,000 on hookers in a 3-year span? $800,000? Who is he hiring? The Kardashians? How do you do that? Where does this money come from? Where is it going? Right? Do these women have OnlyFans? Can we see them? What is happening there? That $800,000... Anyway, someone like that, someone in that stratosphere of society has no idea, has zero clue what it is like to struggle to put bread on the table for a family of 5. So that inflation gets out of control and those numbers mean nothing to them. Well, it's 8%. You know, bread used to cost $2.50 and now it's $3.50. Who cares? But it's not just a loaf of bread, it's the entire basket. It's the entire basket for 3 children and their 2 parents who are working middle-class jobs. They don't live in Kansas City, Missouri. They don't live, pardon me, in Nebraska. They don't live in Wyoming. They don't live in any of these places. They have no idea what this means to families who are working jobs that do not afford them $800,000 hooker allowances. I'd be happy with a couple $1,000s for a hooker allowance. They have no idea what these numbers actually mean. So when these numbers start ticking up, they don't prioritize it. Can't kick this cold, pardon me. They don't prioritize it. It doesn't mean anything to them. So, number 4 here. Maybe you are the true blue no matter who type. Maybe you are cut from the cloth of the blue party. Maybe you are a hardcore Bernie bro. Probably you wept both times that he was guillotined in front of you as a grassroots movement on the left side of the aisle was harangued. Maybe you did. Guess what? You've seen that bit of it. This is the next step up. This move means 100% that we're going to see more Bernie Sandersing. This means 100% that if in the event of a grassroots emergency in the face of the establishment just gets you removed from contention. But here's the argument, right? Well, it was by cause of an insurrection. We have the documentation that allows us to remove someone from these electory ballots in the case of that thing. Right? Maybe you believe it 100% that that is what Donald Trump was doing. Show me the documents. Show me where he was proven guilty. Show me where he was sentenced for that thing. That has not happened. That has not happened. Regardless of how you feel about it. The fact of the matter is that has not happened. Never happened. Didn't take place. So, in lack of that taking place, the Colorado Supreme Court did this based on what they feel, meaning they can feel any way they want about anything you've done or said. You speak up in a way that they don't like, they will remove your personhood. If they can do it to someone who has been president, do you think they can't do it to you? Now tell me why you think they wouldn't. And again, this has nothing to do. Democrat, Republican, I don't care about any of it. They can do this to you. In fact, they're waiting for their chance. You will live in the pod. You will eat what we give you. You will be happy. And if you are not happy, we will beat you until you are. That is what this is saying. That is exactly what is happening right now. And here's I don't know, man. I don't know. That's all I got.